The MP for KURIA East, followed by the MP for Gichogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to also join my colleagues in congratulating the Liaison Committee for a job very well done. This is the first time we are seeing inclusivity in BPS and any other matter that concerns budget making as presented in this House. Mr. Speaker, what has caught my eye most is not even the financial recommendations, because that deals with the now. There's not much we can do about it. It is already here with us. What I want to emphasize on is the non-financial recommendations that have been made very ably by the Liaison Committee. Mr. Speaker, geomapping of resource allocation across this country is one of the best things that has happened in this country. The 13th Parliament, therefore, is going to go down in history as that Parliament that actually made steps boldly to equalize resources in this country. Mr. Speaker, we know how the skewed resources has disenfranchised a big proportion of this country to the advantage of a small section of this country. And Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate the Liaison Committee and also thank them for the proposal, the recommendation for a zero-based budget, which is again critical in financial management. This is quite commendable, as is the recommendation that A&A now be under the purview of the control of budget, and in that way we are going to be able to deal with those monies that come in counties and any other sagas, and then they are not able to be accounted for, and they are left to be at the discretion of those that are in power in the different categories of devolution. Mr. Speaker, I also want to commend them for proposing that the near completed projects be fully funded so that we taxpayers can realize the value for money. Mr. Speaker, there are so many projects across the country that are dotted all over that are just about 80%, 90% near completion. But they're only gathering interests because the contractors are not being paid, and yet we could just inject a few sub-money into it, and then we'll be able to complete the projects, and then they'll be put to use. Mr. Speaker, I want to deal with a project in my constituency, KURIA East constituency. There's a stalled road, Mr. Speaker, that comes from, starts from Taranganya. It came all the way from Masara in Migori to Kehancha and stopped at Taranganya. We have tried to get this road done and completed from Taranganya to Center, Ntimaru, from Isibania to Nyamtiro, across Center again, going to Kegonga, all across to Kugitimo and Loliondo. And this has been a tall order that has prompted us to even bring in the president, who made a presidential directive that this road be completed. And Mr. Speaker, that brings me to the fifth point that I want to raise. Mr. Speaker, this House must find a way of dignifying presidential directives. It cannot be that the president would go around the country, make pronouncements, give directives, and then they just remain that, just directives. We must find a way of making sure that all presidential directives, be it policy that we will come up with in this House, or be it any other form, be it a fund that we are going to create, so that every time the president makes pronouncements, then these pronouncements mean something. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing out of order. You sit down, you will have your time so that there's nothing out of
point of order. What's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, is the Honorable Member KITAYAMA in order to come and start crying to this House, and he speaks to the President almost daily, because I know he's afraid to the President.
Order, Honorable Member, order. You are out of order. That's not a point of order. You raised a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, when I say he has no point of order, please believe me. He doesn't have it.
Can you give him an additional minute?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you still have your time, I think.
Actually, I was still within my time.
Okay, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, speaking to the president, even on a daily basis, and the policies that we make here do not anchor him, protect him, so that the country can move forward, is still not helpful. So I think the point here should be and must remain. And one day, the honorable member there is going to be a beneficiary of these presidential directives. Because the president means well. He intends to equalize this country. There has been a lot of disunity and skewedness in resource allocation that needs a president at one time or another to levelize the playing ground so that everybody in this country can feel included. Mr. Speaker, you saw yesterday the people of Frere Town crying that they just want to become nationals. I mean, if that means that the president goes there and makes them the 50-something tribe of this country, then so be it. Therefore, the presidential directives must find space in this republic, and this house must be bold enough to create that space so that then the people of Kenya can find equity, and we all of us move together as a people, as envisaged in the Constitution 2010. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I do support this amended version of the BPS.
Fair enough.